Question 6, they say determine the general solution of the following. I'm going to leave that one for now. No? So general solution we leave. And then they say in the diagram shown, we have the graph of g of x. So this is g of x for the interval between minus 180 to 180. You know? And then they say write down the period of g. Let's go and check g. So this is g of x. Okay? What is going to be the period of g? Now remember, how do you get the period? You say the period, because it's a cos graph, you're going to say it's 306. Okay? Divided by the value before x. Let's check the value before x. What is this value just before x here? It's 1 again. So what is going to be our period here? It's 360. 1 mark for that. Can we be here, please? 6.2.2, they say determine the values of x for which the graph of g is increasing. So the graph of g is increasing. We said if graph of g is decreasing, it's getting bigger. Look at the turning point. You always go from a turning point to a turning point to check whether your graph is increasing or decreasing. So if you go from here up until to this turning point here, the graph is getting bigger and bigger and bigger here. And then what are the values that are making this to be possible? Let's look at these values. What are these values that are making this to be possible? It's minus 150 again, up until you get to what? 30. So here we're going to tell them x is going to be an element from, using a curve bracket, is from minus 150 up until we get to what? 30. Huh? Okay. On the same set of axes, draw the graph of f of x. Okay? There's no horizontal shift. Since there's no horizontal shift, we need to get our step. Okay? How are you going to get our step here? We say period. Okay? Period is going to be 360 divided by 2, which is the value before x. Okay? And then what you get? 180. Ne? 180 divided by 4. What is 180 divided by 4? It's going to be what? To be 45. What is this 45? This 45, they're not going to give a mark for this 45. It's our step. Then you go to your calculator. On your calculator, you go to mode, and then you go to table. Okay? And then you press f of x. It says which is the sine 2 alpha x. You close your bracket. Okay? And then they will tell you where to start. We shouldn't worry about that. They say we should start at minus 180. So we are going to start at minus 180. Where are we going to end? 180. 180. What is our step? Yeah, our step, we call it as what? As 45. If it's difficult for you, examiner, use the step that they use here. Use the graph paper. If you check what is the distance of the graph paper, you look at the graph paper. If you look at this, the distance from here to here, what is the distance from here to here? It's 15 again. Yeah, use that one as your step. If you are not sure how did we get the step of dividing by 4, this one of 15 is going to give you all the different points that you are looking for. So here you say equals to, it says which you have minus 180 with 0. They give me the values. So it's 108. 180 goes with what? 180 and 0. And then we have what? Minus 135 goes with positive 1. So it's 135. This is minus 135. It goes with 1. Here it is. And then we have minus 90. It goes with 0. Sure. Minus 45. Negative 1. 0. 45. It's 1. 90. 0. 135. Negative 1. 180. 0. And then after that, you simply connect your dots. Dot number 1, dot number 2, dot number 3, dot number 4, number 5, number 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, all in all, this is what we got. So how many marks for this one? We get 3 marks. Né? They're going to give us a mark for the turning points. And my turning points, you need to show them. You tell them which here you have minus 45. It goes with 1, minus 1. Turning points will give you 1 mark. Intercept will give you 1 mark. And then for the shape will give you 1 mark. Hence, otherwise, determine the values of x in the interval for which f of x multiplied by g of x, they're going to give us something which is negative. Okay? Now remember, how did you approach this question yesterday? We are going to highlight our graphs. Our graphs can either appear above the x-axis or they are going to appear below the x-axis. That's what we're going to be looking at. So look at the following here. We're going to highlight above the x-axis. Let's use the yellow color. Above the x-axis, above the x-axis here. So we use yellow. Above the x-axis, we use yellow again. So below the x-axis, let's look at the other graph. The other graph now is so 7 yellow, yellow above the x-axis. And then let's use a different color. Let's use green. Below the x-axis, for this red one, below the x-axis is green. Below the x-axis for this one, it's green now. Below the x-axis is green. Below the x-axis, even this one here, it's what? It's green. So what are we supposed to have here? For us to have something which is negative, this is true. You are supposed to have a positive and a negative. If you have a positive and a negative, you're going to get what? Negative. Or if you have negative this side and then you have positive this side, you're also going to have what? A negative. What does this mean according to our colors? It means we are going to look at a situation whereby we have two different colors. Let's go and check here. If you look at this one here, I have yellow, I also have green again. Yellow and green, I'm going to take it here. This one is a solution. I want it because the other one is above the x-axis. The other one is what is below the x-axis. Are we together there? But if you look at here, this one is green. This one is also green again. We don't take green and green. We remove that one. Here, what do I have? I have yellow here again. What do I have here? Green. I'm going to highlight this part which is giving me yellow and green. This one. It's also my solution. Here I have yellow and yellow again. I have yellow and yellow. Here, look at this part here. You look at this part here. You can do this. Block. You see that again. So here what you have yellow and then you also have what? Green. And then starting from here, you also have green and green again. We're not looking for that one. So what are the values that are making yellow and green? Those are the values that we are looking for. Give me the values that are giving you yellow and green. Which one are those? Minus 180 and minus 90. That's the first one again. What is the second one that we have? Minus 60 again. Up until you get to 0. Minus 60 up until you get to 0. What is the last one? 90 and 120. Okay. And then after that, it's just a matter of you saying x is an element. X is an element. And then x is an what? Is an element. Let's check how many marks. It should be 3 here because there are so many things. Yeah, it's 3 marks. So if you got this one, 1 mark. If you got this one, 1 mark. I can see Tuli is laughing. How many did you get into? Yeah? Oh, you got 1. Okay. And then